Hi guys, welcome back to Inside Pro Cycling TV. Today, as every Tuesday, we have Coach Lee Solomon with us. Hi Lee.
Hello.
How are you?
Thanks.
Good to have you
Good
here.
to see you.
So, Try Tuesdays is back, and it's going to be back every Tuesday for you. So, if you're a triathlon addict, or if you know anybody who's into triathlons, make sure you let them know to come and tune in on Tuesdays for Try Tuesdays at Inside Pro Cycling TV. Now, Lee,
Yep.
subject I want to cover. I mean, when we think of triathlons, everybody thinks of Kona, everybody thinks of the Ironman, everybody thinks of the real long triathlons.
Yeah.
Yet, I would say the majority of the people who are watching us, what they have done is the sprint triathlons, which are
Sure.
sort of like the things that have popularized triathlons and makes it accessible to everybody. I mean, I know here in South Florida, we go out to Key Biscayne, and it seems like during the summer, almost every other week, there's a sprint triathlon, and with lots of people participating. So it's made it accessible to just about everybody. But
Yes.
how do you train for these?
It's a great question, and in the U.S. right now, there are a couple thousand sprint triathlons every season, and triathlon has seen double-digit growth since the year 2000. So it's been exploding. Yeah, it's a very popular sport now, and we're getting tons of press. But to get back to your question on how to train for it, I think it's a blend of art and science, and I'm very passionate about the coaching side of it. I'm passionate about training program design. So it's really in taking the tools that the coach has or the individual has, taking the knowledge base that they have and painting the picture or painting the training program. But there are some basics to it. Number one is something we like to see is our athletes do at least 3 swims, 3 bikes, and 3 runs during the week. So 3 swims, 3 bikes, and 3 runs. That's a lot. That's a lot to balance.
Let's put it in terms of hours. What would be sort of like the minimum or the average? Let's talk about the average number of hours that a person should devote to be able to be somewhat competitive at a sprint triathlon.
I think for sprint triathletes, if they can devote 7-8 hours minimum per week to training, that would be fantastic.
Well, that's doable. 7-8
very
hours
doable.
is doable.
Sure,
Yeah.
and a large majority of that can be on the weekends when many people aren't working. So if I had to give a minimum, I would say 7-8 hours.
Okay. Now, when you say 3 runs, 3 swims,
And 3 bikes.
and 3 bikes.
Sure.
And the intensity. What about the? Is this all of these should be intense or should be a mix?
I would say it'd be a mix, and we have to remember one thing about triathlon is the energy system that's being used the majority of the time, the vast majority of the time, is going to be your aerobic energy system, not your anaerobic system. So we want to work the aerobic system the majority of the time in training. Doesn't mean we shouldn't have anaerobic work going into there, but depending on the part of the year that the athlete is in, how close they are to the races, they'll be doing more intense sessions closer to their races. When you're further away, you're building the foundation, what's going to hold you through in an endurance fashion during the year. So you'll do more of your endurance work the further away you are from the racing season. But there's a couple interesting things with triathletes, a couple little bits of our secret ingredients that we put into our training plans. Once you have a well-trained athlete, and I use that term specifically, well-trained athlete, most well-trained athletes can handle 2 to 2.5 days of good intensity before they need a little bit of recovery time. So although trying to go 3, 4, 5 days very hard in a row with hard intervals every day, that might be good for 1 or 2 weeks. For the longevity, the health of the athlete, really we're looking at 1 day of intervals, 2 days of intervals in a row, and then a couple of aerobic days.
Then the other thing is that you should pick your events, right? I mean, it's going to be very difficult to be in really good shape for every single, particularly when you have every 2 weeks you got one. No? So, I mean, do you advise people to sort of like target certain dates and then try to be their best at certain dates and not try to be the best every other week or every week or whatever?
You've done your homework, exactly. I mean, ideally what we like to see is athletes in the beginning of the year pick out a bunch of races, then let us design the training plan to get them to be at their best on those races.
Okay. Now, do you recommend any other complementary activities like gym work or anything like that? Or
at certain parts of the season, we'll put in functional strength training for them. We do recommend flexibility training and also spending a couple hours a week on mental skills training. And whether that be in yoga classes or that should just be at home practicing their mental skills, I think that's a very valuable asset an athlete can have.
Well, how about a little plug for Body Zen? What's the website?
Just come over and check us out, bodyzen.com, and get all your training for triathlon and cycling.
Okay, great, Lee. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me again.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed the Tri Tuesdays. It's all good information that Coach Lee Solomon is sharing with us, and I hope it's useful to you, and see you next time we do Tri Tuesdays with the coach. See you.